Hello, world. Welcome back to Golf Subpar. Colt Knost and Drew Stoltz. The regular season for the PGA Tour is in the books. Tom Kim, little-known Tom Kim, a non-member, just put on an incredible performance after opening with a quadruple bogey 8. I know you and I have both been there. We definitely didn't come back to win a PGA Tour event, but the man put on quite a clinic the last 71 holes.
That's quad on the first. Pack it up, book the flight, first thing out on Friday.
Done it.
Don't know. Yeah, 100% done it. I don't know a lot of guys that come back from that win the tournament by as much as he did too. That final round was a joke. Little 27 on the front on a Sunday. Not a terrible thing to do when you're trying to lock up that first win. Get a spot in the FedEx Cup playoffs, by the way. He messed up like all the projections on the TV because they were like, all right, with this putt, this guy moves to this, and this is the 125 guy. Now this guy's 126. They were forgetting the whole time that here's the guy that's not included in the FedEx Cup standings.
You have to
win
to be a
special
member.
temporary member, so he's not even on the sheet yet. So him winning messed up a lot of guys. I mean, they had that interview with Justin Lauer afterwards that was just so emotional. Like, he was crying. I couldn't help but feeling it. But now looking back on it, it's like, all right, even if he pars 18, he made bogey to fall out, he would have then gotten bumped out to 126 because of Tom Kim winning, which might have been even more heartbreaking for him, thinking that I just parted, I did it, and then, oh, by the way, this guy just won. He was the one thing people weren't factoring into all the standings.
Also knocked Matt Wallace out. Ricky Fowler ended up getting the actual last spot after missing 2 cuts in a row. I thought he was out for sure, but ends up sneaking in there. There were some great stories. Max McGreevy, who was 126 going in to the Wyndham Championship, shoots a final round 65 to finish tied for 5th. I mean, that's clutch. That's so clutch. That's got to give him so much confidence going forward. But then there's got Chris Nagel, who had been Monday qualifying all year. He ends up getting knocked out of the top 200, which would have got him in the Korn Ferry Tour finals with a chance to get on the PGA Tour. With Tom Kim's win, knocked him to 201. Just absolutely hard. Would also gave him status on the Korn Ferry Tour.
Huge hit, by the way. And if like they've taken the 11 guys out that were at where they've gone to live, well, Bubba Watson's already declared. He's going there next year. He has yet to hit a shot on that tour. Obviously, he's out there as like a non-playing captain right now, but he's leaving. But he's still on the standings, and that bumps out Nagel, which is huge. I mean, you get in the Korn Ferry Tour playoffs. Not only do you got a chance to get your card, you automatically have your Korn Ferry card next year. I think you get the first 2 reshuffles out of that. I mean, that's like career-changing stuff. And you got one guy in there, Bubba, who's not going to be playing next year. I feel like, it would be nice if they somehow found a way to say, like, okay, Bubba's not playing next year. You're the 200 spot. And he's been Mondaying his ass off.
Yeah, I think they should fix that. I mean, we know he's going. He's already signed. He's a non-playing captain. Get him off the list. Get Patrick Nagel in those Korn Ferry Tour finals. I hate that that's happened. I don't think that's right. But listen, the regular season's over. Scotty Scheffler is your points leader heading into the playoffs by 1,200 points, which is just under 2.5 wins. He also, I don't know if you saw this, Sleaze, won the Comcast regular season title, and he also wins the Aon. Just pockets a cool little $5 million on the side.
Another 5. There's just all these little side things that you don't even know about. You win it, you just get extra money thrown in there, and then, by the way, you're obviously going to be at Eastlake all the way through, one of the guys to beat. There's more and more stuff where they're just finding ways to the PIP. I mean, they're just throwing money at these top guys right now to
I like the word monies.
Juice monies. Yeah, monies. I think that's the technical term, the legal term. But they're doing it. There's an extra 5-piece for Scotty.
Sung J M, top 10, he finished second, got him into the top 10 on the Comcast, made him $1 million.
Good finish.
That was a nice little clutch performance. Mm-hmm. There was some other news coming out of the Wyndham Championship where Will Zalatoris split with his caddy Ryan Goebel after Friday's round. Things just weren't going the way they wanted to. And they made over $6.6 million on the PGA Tour since working together, I believe. But things just weren't going the way they wanted to. Decided to split. Before the weekend, Josh Gregory comes in, past subpar guest. Mm-hmm. But I'm a little surprised with your history with Wyndham Clark and what you've done with him and how well you've caddied and your reputation that you didn't get a phone call.
Think of what I've done with the little talent that Wyndham has and my caddying expertise. I've been able to coach him around pretty damn. You give me a talent like Will. My God, the sky's the limit with a guy like that. I can actually strike the ball. But, I've signed a strict NDA. Can't talk about conversations that Will and I may or may not have had. But let's just say I'm open for services for the right player. I'm a lot like Bones, dude. It's gonna take the right bag. You know what I mean?
And
Will
Wyndham
would have
Clark
been one of the right bags. Will would have been possibly one of the right bags. But Wyndham's not the right bag for me, by the way. So we will continue on a one-off basis, one term a year, and I'll try to steer him around. Help us as he is, and get him to the finish line like I do. But nice. Also very strange in that regard, like in the middle of the week. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like even if the thing's coming to an end, I feel like typically, I can't remember one where a guy started with a caddy like a full-time caddy and then switched on the weekend.
Well, Bryson DeChambeau did it last year with Tim Tucker, I believe, on Wednesday night.
Yeah, that was right before.
Yeah.
Immediate
Something's
emergency caddy situation.
As Will said, listen, he's like a brother to him. They're best of friends. Things just weren't going well. It was affecting their off-the-course life, which is their friendship, and it was time to make a change. And listen, I've seen it happen. I've been there. You know, it's tough when you got a friend out there caddying for you. You start bickering at each other. It was time for a change.
It's a intimate relationship, that player caddy, not only on the golf course but off the golf. You spend so much time. I mean, it's like a marriage, and it can go quick. But I mean,
I have a feeling.
What a pickup for Joel.
Joel Stock, longtime caddy on the PGA Tour, is going to caddy for him in the playoffs. Not sure if that's going to be a full-time thing now or just the playoffs, but I can promise you one thing. Will's phone was receiving a lot of texts from caddies, as was Will's representation. They were like, hey, I'm available. I'll quit my guy right now. Please give me a chance.
That's about as easy of a bag as it gets. It goes down the fairway. It goes on the green. You're not raking a lot of bunkers. Read some putts. Get out of there. Play every weekend. Play all the biggest money events. Probably play in the final groups of some majors along the way.
A lot like our guest this week, which I think you would probably lend your caddy service to him. Harris English, Ryder Cupper, multiple PGA Tour winner, one of the best golf swings in the game, sits down with us. He's much better at golf than he is at Magic.
Oh, we could get into the details, this little quote-unquote trick that he was coming up with that we'd heard all about. It left some to be desired, but the man's busy. You know, he's out there. His golf swing, dude, one of my favorites in the world. I remember watching him coming out of college. Like, this thing is, I mean, I feel like it's just built. It's the modern day golf swing, but it's got that tempo that's like in the Ernie category or something like that. It just looks natural. It doesn't look like there's a ton of mechanics going on in that golf swing, but it's perfect.
And he's also not scared to get amongst it, which we really enjoy. And before we get to Harris English, I want to tell you about Doers and their 19-year-old Champions Edition. Thank you, Scotland, for the great game of golf. You really did us all a solid there. And thank you, Scotland, for the great gift of Scotch whiskey, especially the Doers 2022 19-year-old Champions Edition. Crafted in partnership with the USGA, the 2022 19-year-old Champions Edition is double-aged and then finished in new American oak and first fill rye cast to be as complex and rewarding as the game of golf itself. The flavor profile is rich with notes of butterscotch, heather honey, and cinnamon. You've got to try it to believe it. The 2022 19-year-old Champions Edition is a limited edition and going fast. So if you see a bottle on the shelf, grab it. Then enjoy it as you raise a glass to the sport we love so much. From Doers, the most awarded blended Scotch whiskey in history. Enjoy responsibly. And it is now time for the Doers Cheers moment of the week. And Sleaze, I got to give a huge shout out to Gaza Ranch, Discovery property up in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Just got back from playing the member guest, my buddy Brendan Morrow. We did not win, but we had the most fun. Absolutely incredible place. We were getting amongst it, as we like to say here. But the stars were out up at Gaza Ranch. The great one, Wayne Gretzky, was in the building. Our friend Ray Whitney, Brendan Morrow, my partner.
The ungreat one. The not great one, yes. Ray Whitney.
Coach Sean Payton was in the house. There was even a little appearance by Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker.
Those are stars. Big deal. Ryan Sheckler was in the house.
Ryan Sheckler was up there. Yeah. What's the one dude from Twilight? Can't remember his name. Oh, yeah,
the vampire
Taylor.
Show. Taylor Lautner
was in the house.
Ooh, tough look to try to be the best-looking dude on property this week.
I did okay.
For those guys, I mean.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean? Tough look for them.
But the golf was incredible. Ours wasn't the best, but like I said, we had the most fun. And I also got introduced to a new game because this is what we need in our life is more shit to gamble on.
This is
literal
all-timer.
Shit.
This is where this game was designed with just complete idiots in mind. I love this. Tell them about it.
I can't wait to see if we can get our friends over at FanDuel to somehow get this as an actual betting thing on the app. But we were at the welcome party, and I got introduced to a new little game called Chicken Shit Bingo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we got a big crate, right? Chicken crate where these things can't get
out.
Chicken
coop.
Okay, on the ground, piece of plywood with numbers kind of sprinkled all over, kind of like say in NFL. You got the board with the scores. The squares. You got an NFL squares game. So you just draw numbers and the squares go here. Well, so they just randomly place the numbers all over the ground, and then you can place a bet and you draw a number out of the hat.
This game's
so
good.
Like for example, I drew number 4.
I've never heard of this game, by the way.
I haven't either.
Okay.
So I had number 4. We got a nice pot going. So the deal is, if the chicken shits on your number,
they let the chicken into the coop.
Yeah.
And he just walks around.
Yes, and he had a little X-Lax or a little coffee.
They gave him a
before
little
he went
Indian
out.
food before. Say you're up, Scooter.
Well, it's very simple. If most of the shit lands on your number, you're the winner.
And that's it.
Yeah, a lot of skill involved. a lot of studying, a lot of skill involved to see if you can win And needless to say, I did not. But the game is incredible.
You could use this with any animal. Like, you could replicate this at your member guest where you just need any animal. You got to make sure he's got to take a shit fairly soon. You don't want him wandering around for 25 minutes. I feel like it would die down a little bit. But always you just buy numbers, right? Everyone buys a number for X amount, whatever it is. You put it in. That's the pot. And wherever he poops, you win.
But watching grown men yell at a chicken to shit on their number,
that poor chicken, dude. They probably got the shit scared out of them with all these idiots screaming at him. By the way, I think we have a huge business opportunity here. We go out there and we do a traveling chicken shit bingo, but we get like a street chicken off the street and we train him.
Chicken off the street.
We need a chicken with nothing to lose, who's a little bit down on his luck. There's all of them running around. We go to Hawaii, they're just running around everywhere. You get this street chicken. We train him up. Always shit on this square. Like, we train him to do that, and then we just travel around.
You don't think people
always get that number?
You don't think people would figure us out at some point?
No, dude. Nah.
All
Not with the right chicken that can sell it.
Shout out Gaza Ranch. Incredible time as always. The best member guest I've ever played in. So much fun. It's now time to get to Harris English on Golf Subpar.
All right. What a treat we have in store today. 4-time tour winner, member of the U.S. Ryder Cup team, and the ass whooping up at Whistling Straits, and one of the silkiest actions on the PGA Tour. Harris English, good to have you, bud.
Appreciate it, Drew. Thanks.
Long overdue.
The whipping at Whistling.
The whipping at Whistling, man. That was awesome. Incredible journey. Getting up there, that was one of my goals for my career, and had a great year last year. I was lucky to be a captain's pick by Strick, and man, it was an incredible experience. And had always had these expectations of what the Ryder Cup would look like as a player, and it exceeded it. I mean, it was incredible, and I can't wait to hopefully try to get on some more of those teams.
Well, do we want to do that now, or do we want to go Ryder Cup now? Or
I think we should save it, but just know that now that I am an assistant captain, I do have some say in this thing.
I'm going to have to keep buttering you up.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Congratulate my guy on the huge announcement.
Yeah,
huge. Big.
That was incredible.
Anything on social media is 100% true, guys.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to lie on there. But I want to talk a little bit about your college days, because you played on one of the great teams of all time, arguably, down there in Georgia. First off, what is it about Athens, Coach Hack, and the University of Georgia? I mean, y'all just produce nonstop tour players.
Man, it was an easy decision for me coming out of high school with the guys that played before me. Like the Chris Kirk, the Brendan Todd, the Kevin Kisner. Even before that, you had Ruji Yamada, Bubba, Eric Compton. I don't know. Hacker is just such a likable guy and such a player's coach that he was an unbelievable recruiter. And then once he got a couple good teams in there, Georgia just recruited itself. I mean, once you go up to Athens, experience the school, experience the nightlife, I mean, it was one of the best college towns I've ever been to. And I'm not just saying that because I went there, but I haven't found a place like it. And I wanted to go there because they had the best team, and they had just won the national championship in 2005. That was my, I think, sophomore, junior year of high school, and it was an easy decision for me.
What do you think the conversion rate is of kids that get on campus for a recruiting trip to signees is there? It's got to be one of the highest. Go to Athens, see the golf course, do all this stuff. If someone's like, nah, I'm good, that's few and far between.
Yeah. I mean, it's not for some guys. I mean, some golf nerds or guys that don't like to go out.
Where do they go? Where would you say
probably
the
going
golf
to Georgia
nerds?
Tech.
There it is. Bury them.
Just right down the road.
But on some of my recruiting trips, I mean, going out with Kiz and Kirk and B. Todd, that was fun. And it was like, these guys are really successful. They have a good time. Why shouldn't I come here? And
I've been to Athens once to play the Corn Ferry event they had there. Went out one night on a Tuesday, a place called Bourbon Street. I think you might know about it a little bit. We got five beers and 10 shots, and they said $28, and I said, I'm moving here tomorrow. This is the greatest place ever. Coming from Dallas, I was like, I thought it was gonna be like $120. Nope, $28.
I used to take my ID and a $20 bill, and I had the best nights ever.
That's the best.
Can't do that in Dallas.
These NIL kids are gonna have more money than they know what to do with them. They got dime beers.
They're gonna have to start buying tables. They're gonna own bars in Athens.
God, I love it. Talk about some of the guys you played with, though. Who was on your squad?
Yeah, so my freshman year, I think we only had 8 guys my freshman year, which is a very small team by college golf team standards. But so my freshman year, I came in with Russell Henley. We had another guy on the team, Lowry Thomas. And then Hudson Swafford was a sophomore. Rob Bennett was a sophomore. Brian Harmon was a junior. Adam Mitchell was a junior. And Michael Green was a junior. So that was our team. 8 guys. The oldest guy was a junior. And Russell and I had great freshman years. We made it into the lineup. So it was pretty much the whole year. It was Russell Henley, myself, Harmon, Hudson, and Adam Mitchell. And
on that team, how many would you say had a crush on Michael Green's mom?
Everybody.
God almighty, I remember her. She is, whew. All right.
That poor guy, dude. That poor guy.
Doc Green's a lucky man.
Yes, he is.
Poor dude can't go anywhere without being brought up.
Oh, it's so good. But you mentioned 2011. Y'all make it to the finals of the match play in the NCAAs. All came down to you, correct?
It did.
Against one Patrick Reed.
It did. Yeah, I mean, being there 4 years and not winning a national championship is pretty tough with the teams we had, but it shows how hard it is to win. I mean, us and Oklahoma State were basically the best 2 teams out of 4 years, and none of us won the national championship. But it was awesome. I mean, even though I lost, we had a great match. It was a good fight, and it's something that I wish I could take back, wish I could have that round over again, but it is what it is, and it fueled me for the rest of that summer and kind of sparked my good play the rest of that summer. So it is what it is. I mean, you're going to have a lot of heartbreaks and a lot of victories in this game, and you just got to take the punches.
Did you win on the Korn Ferry as an amateur after that or before that?
That was, I believe, after that. That was in July, so a couple months after that.
That was incredible. I remember when you won as an AM. How much confidence does that give you going into like being a professional now? You're like, I just played on the 3rd best tour in the world and won as a college kid.
It was huge. The lucky thing that we had at Georgia is we had that Korn Ferry event in Athens, and the deal we had were the 2 best guys on the team that had the lowest stroke average would get an exemption into that Korn Ferry event. So Russell Henley and I both played, I think, 2 years in a row, and he ended up winning as well when we were still in school. So
him and Daniel Summerhays.
Not bad.
Yeah. So I think the first year I finished 27th or something. The second year I think I finished 15th or something. It was a little better. So getting in the mix like that and playing on your home course in a Korn Ferry event, it's like, well, I feel like I can play with these guys, and seeing Russell do it. I mean, I've played with him for 4 years, and it's like, well, it's kind of like playing college golf. It's just the guys are a little bit better.
Yeah.
You won that event, then you go play the Walker Cup, then you come back, almost win on the Nationwide again at the time, and then go to Q School and got right through. I mean, you went from college golf to straight to the show like quick.
Yeah, I was riding a high for sure. A lot of confidence, and it was a fun summer. I mean, playing the Walker Cup, I know Colt did it. It was kind of like the Ryder Cup. I mean, you always want to play in it. I remember going to the Walker Cup when I was 12 years old when they had it at Sea Island at Ocean Forest and seeing all these guys. And, like, I really want to do it. And that's why I stayed amateur that summer, and it worked out for the best. I took advantage of it. But you just get hot. You get hot in this game, and I was hot that summer, and you got to take advantage of when you're playing well, and I certainly did.
Did you have any stress final round at Q School trying to close the card out? Do you remember it?
I think I was in 3rd place. I was playing in the last group with Marco Dawson, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Wow.
I was so intimidated by that guy.
He was real friendly to play with.
I can't remember the other guy's last name, but I was in 3rd place. You don't want to look at like how many clear.
That's a good cush if you're in 3rd. If you're in the final group.
It was a good cush, but I couldn't even swallow my breakfast that morning, like eggs, bacon, whatever. I couldn't swallow it. I've never been that nervous before a round because it's basically like don't shoot 80.
Don't make it 10.
Yeah.
Where was your final?
It was in Palm Springs.
Oh, okay. So was it?
I think I played. It was weird. The stadium course wasn't the main course. It was
the Nick tournament. Yeah.
And I remember that week it was kind of cold and windy and playing pretty tough, and it was basically that final round, like, just don't shoot 80. And that's kind of a weird, instead of like, hey, I got to go shoot 70, it's like, just don't mess up. And
what'd you shoot?
I think I doubled the last hole.
Solid.
But I was still, I think I finished 13th or something and got
nice.
through. But
so you didn't even know how big your cushion? You said I'm not going to look at it because that's probably like 8, 9.
Yeah, I didn't want to
look
at it. I didn't want to look at it. I kind of want to focus on, like, you know what, if you win Q School, that's going to set you up for the rest of the year and get in a bunch more tournaments. So I wish they still did it. I mean, I wish they could bring back Q School somehow with 5 guys getting in. I mean, it was so fun to have that opportunity to go straight from college to the tour.
It's arguably one of the most exciting final rounds to watch in golf.
It is.
I mean, because you see guys change their life and guys that just suffer the biggest heartbreak possible. I mean, I was one of those guys. I doubled the last to think I missed it, and I ended up getting in on the number. But it is – I mean, I'm with you. I wish they'd bring it back. The fact you can go straight to the PGA Tour is so great, and it's great drama.
It is.
I mean, it sucks. You never – because there's always going to be that guy every year that makes a mess of it and ends up losing it, and you just don't want to be that guy. But, you come out and your career is going at an incredible pace, playing great golf, winning, and then you went through a rather big slump. What was that like for you? Because obviously, I mean, as you said, coming out of college, you had so much confidence. Things are going so well, and then you hit that slump. Do you remember a moment that kind of triggered that going downhill?
Yeah, I mean, I've never been a big tinkerer in the game, and in college, I didn't really know how I did it. I just did it. I mean, I didn't really think about my swing a whole lot, think about mechanics, think about my clubs of, why I play 2 degrees upright, why I play this certain shaft. I just did it. And then the biggest transition for me was switching club companies. I mean, I love Callaway. I love the guys that worked on their team. But that was I'd played Ping clubs since I was probably 12 or 13 years old, and I won twice in 2013, and then that next year I switched to Callaway. And people can say it's just a club or it shouldn't affect you, but it does. And once you start losing a little confidence in one club, then it kind of bleeds through your bag. And I started working a lot more on mechanics and trying to swing like this guy, trying to swing like that guy, and you can go down a path of spiraling kind of down. You don't really know which side is up, and that's kind of what I was doing. I mean, I was playing golf swing for a number of years. I mean, I know during a golf tournament I'd have a new swing thought for every day, and that can work for 6 holes, that can work for 9 holes, but it's never going to last. And that's kind of what I was going through, and went through a lot of different coaches, and nothing seemed to stick. And met Justin Parsons, who had moved to Sea Island a few years ago, and we had a couple lessons together, and it started resonating with me, getting back to fundamentals, getting back to stuff that I'd kind of not worked on, as grip, alignment, all the boring stuff that we work on that had gotten off. And once some of those things get off, then it messes up your whole game.
Was it harder to go through that stretch where you weren't winning, being that you'd won 2 times, your second year out, it happened bang, bang? I mean, at that point, you got to think, I just got out of college, got my card, got through, now I got 2 wins already. Under the age of 25, you joined pretty elite company at the time. You had to think at that point, I'm just going to do this every year going forward. Yeah, I mean, there's no way at other thing. You've done nothing but win the whole, your entire career.
Yeah, I mean, when you're playing well, it's always easy. So when you have some adversity, I think it was for the best. But yeah, I mean, you have these expectations, other expectations people put on you. I mean, I always have expectations for myself of playing good golf and playing against some of the best in the world and playing in some of the biggest tournaments in the world. And once you're not in there, it definitely hurts, because you feel like you can do so much more. And I mean, everybody deals with adversity. That was kind of my adversity, but you learn about yourself, and you kind of learn how to get through it, and you learn to love some of the lows and love the highs, and that's what this game brings. And it definitely puts a different perspective of playing on the PGA Tour and not getting into some events. And then here I am playing on the Ryder Cup team last year and getting in all the majors. I mean, it definitely puts it in perspective.
Because of those struggles, do you appreciate the good golf you're playing now much more? Yeah,
you do, because it's not there all the time, and that's what some guys are really good of, being consistent. But it definitely makes you appreciate. I mean, winning 2 times last year, that playoff last year at the Travelers was amazing. And
I need you to end those quicker now that I'm in this TV world. I don't like being out there for an extra 2 hours. I don't get paid overtime.
Drag that thing, Harry. Drag that.
The Travelers folks definitely like that, being on TV that long. But it's just fun. It's fun. I love competition. I love being in the moment and coming out on Sunday. I mean, it's so much fun being in the mix, win, lose, or draw, putting yourself up against the best in the world and seeing how you can handle it. And I love doing that.
When you off on number 1's always good too, not 6B or something. No big deal.
When you were tinkering with your swing, going back, I was trying to swing like so and so. You got one of the best golf swings on the PGA Tour. I think people look at yours like, I want to swing like that. Was there anyone in particular that when you were going through that time that you were trying to swing like?
Yeah, I mean,
that's like Ernie saying oh, I want to swing like this. I mean, your tempo is probably one of the most coveted on tour.
Yeah. Man, I mean, going up and down the range, and so when I started playing really well and won the 2 wins, you start getting paired on the first couple days with McIlroy, with Justin Rose, with Dustin, and it's easy to look at those guys and you're like, Rory drives it better than I do. He hits it 20 yards by me and on a string every single time. Like, why can't I do that? I need to try that. But once you take the good parts of your game and try to do something like that of hitting it further. I'm not saying I was trying to hit it further, but you can always do something better. And instead of like, okay, this is my swing, this is how I swing, my tempo, this is what I do, and just make that the best it can be instead of trying to do all these other stuff, because I could hit fairway bunker shots, try to hit them like Chris Kirk. I can try to putt like Cam Smith. I mean, there's always certain areas that other guys do better things than you, but if you try to chase that, you're chasing a rabbit. I mean, it's
you
hard.
like so many young guys, no matter how good you are, what you did, and everyone gets into that situation. I don't know if like Rory's ever felt like that, or some of the guys you mentioned, but I feel like every other guy, you get out there, your game's good enough to get you there, it's good enough to win, and all of a sudden you see some guys and you're like, oh shit, I need to do that.
So you mentioned those big time pairings. Who's one of those guys when you get paired with and you're just like, damn, like this guy is impressive?
I played with Dustin, the Northern Trust, the first playoff event where he won by.
Oh, he won by like 11. Yeah.
11. I was playing with him in the last group, and I think I was 3 under through 7 holes and trying to chase him, and I'd lost ground. And it's like, this guy, if this guy's on, you cannot beat him. Yeah. He hits it longer, he hits it straighter. He was putting good. And it was like, I can play as good as I can, and I don't think I can beat this guy right now.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
When he
McIlroy's the same. Like when he's on with that driver, I mean, he can take down any golf course he wants to.
Dude, I mean, I follow him obviously a lot now in our feature groups, and I'm just like, golf is so easy from here where he drives it. I'm just like, I think I could play from here. This would be nice.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a weapon.
We were having this conversation, I think, on radio or something the other day. I said for a long time, I think Rory McIlroy's driver is the biggest weapon in golf. Like if that thing's going, he's going to be in the hunt, or he's going to win. And when everything clicks, he's probably going to win by a bunch. Recently, with what Cam Smith's done, I said you got to start throwing Cam Smith's putter in there as well, because he can win tournaments on the back of that thing alone. If you had to pick one, like what's the biggest weapon in golf? You don't have to be either one of those two. Those are just kind of the ones I think.
Man, putting is the biggest eraser. Like, I mean, you saw it with Cam. I mean, he didn't hit it that great coming down the stretch, but some of those 2 putts he had were incredible. And that's the putting wins golf tournaments. Driver gets you in the mix. The putting wins golf tournaments.
His lags aren't getting enough love on that win. It's they're showing like all the 15 footers and things like that. I'm like, how about these 2 putts? He's hitting up to kick in, not even having to stress.
I mean,
like 18.
That putt on 18.
That's a joke of a putt.
I mean, if you give me 10 balls, I'm trying to fit 2 where he fit it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and he did it under the most pressure, and I mean,
ended up needing it too after. What Cam Young
TV doesn't do how big that slope is justice. And
I saw one clip from down below. I was like, that's the one y'all need to be showing. This is crazy. To get that inside 8-10 feet would be a pretty good effort.
Yeah,
CBS would have showed that angle. Don't worry. But that's one thing I always say. I think the most underappreciated talent y'all have is lag putting, because I mean, dude, you got 60 feet breaking 5 different ways, and you guys lag it up there like that. It's not really appreciated. But Cam Smith obviously won the Open Championship. You have 2 top 10s in majors, U.S. Open. Both at the U.S. Open. Is that the major you feel like sets up the best for you?
I think it does.
And why would that be?
I feel like I'm a grinder. I love hard golf courses. So we're around even par winning, because I know I'm going to miss greens. I feel like I'm one of those guys that so like an opposite is like going to Palm Springs where you feel like you got to make birdie every time. It doesn't work that well to me when I feel like I par like 4 or 5 holes and I feel like I'm losing ground. But a U.S. Open, I feel like I can grind it. It makes you think a lot more about where to miss it, and you got to be a lot more defensive. And I think that sets up more for my game. And I don't know what it is about it, but a lot of those USGA championships I've played well in them, starting junior, amateur, and then now pro days. I mean, Augusta's really hard to me with the big sloping greens and like you said, lag putting. Yeah. Some guys, I mean, Cam, Spieth, I mean, you see the guys who compete every year, Tiger, they're great putters, great lag putters, and you have to have a lot of imagination, and that's something I got to get better at.
You were my early pick at the U.S. Open at Torrey, and boy, I thought you were going to backdoor that thing. Man, it got close there.
It did. I mean, John making that bomb on 17 and then making that putt on 18, and anything could have happened coming down the stretch. I mean, I didn't put my clubs up for a while. I went into the hospitality area with my caddy Eric and kind of waited out and watched it on TV.
I was watching.
You finished way before.
Yeah, I finished probably 4 or 5 groups ahead of him.
They saw you like tap it. They showed you tap in on 18. I was like, Harris is in the middle of this thing. Why don't we? I haven't seen any holes leading up. But you're kind of like I've heard you give interviews before. You're like, I like being under the radar. I like being low key. I like trying to have like an underdog mentality. That's hard to like with your year last year, 2 wins, Ryder Cup, all that. like it kind of just comes with success. You're gonna get more of it. I mean, you're on Subpar right now. What's bigger than that? It's the biggest exposure in the history of life. But like, are you embracing like the spotlight more, or being kind of like in the marquee groups and all that stuff?
I do, because that's ultimately where you want to be. I know I hate to throw Kirby Smart in there, but like last year you said pressure is a privilege, and you get in those marquee groups. I mean, there's a reason why you're there, and you got to embrace it and do the best you can. So, yeah, I mean.
It's just reality because you win. Yeah. I mean, that's what's going to happen.
Being nervous is a good thing in this game. That means you're playing well.
It is.
Yeah.
And you got to learn how to – I mean, everybody gets nervous on the first tee. You get the butterflies, but until you learn how to embrace it and use it to your advantage, then this game is going to be tough. But
the Georgia guys are the only dudes that can't get through an interview without referencing the football coach. I mean, we're like 5 for 5 now. I mean, no matter what we bring up. Well, Kirby, if you talk to Kirby.
Nice new contract that fella got.
He's doing okay. Well-deserved contract.
It is. But we got to talk about Whistling Straits because that has to be like one of the highlights of your golfing life, I'm sure. Making that team and putting on the performance y'all did, just absolutely destroying the European team. What was it like the first time you teed it up in the Ryder Cup? Where did you mentioned Q School? You were so nervous you couldn't eat your breakfast. Talk us about the nerves of the Ryder Cup.
So, I was not playing the morning. The first morning, I was paired with Tony Finau in the afternoon. Kind of wanted to ease me in, I guess. But I couldn't sleep that much the night before because you're so excited. I'm like, I want to go out to the first tee and watch all the guys tee off in the morning and kind of see how it feels, see how that first tee feels. And I got out there in the morning with my jacket on or whatever, standing there with Bryson. It's like, oh my God, this is incredible.
We were there on the first
unbelievable, dude. Unbelievable. I was nervous standing there. I was excited. I almost cried when they sang the national anthem. I was like, I'm a wreck. What is happening to me?
And I tell everybody now, I'm like, if you've not been to a Ryder Cup, you've got to go see it. Especially, I haven't seen one overseas, but it's an incredible first tee experience. I mean, I've never played a round of golf where every shot was that massive. You had crowds, every shot, you're hanging on every putt. But the hardest part of the first tee is like getting the ball on the tee. I was telling myself, it's like if I get the ball on the tee the first time, I'm good. But if that thing keeps dropping off the tee, it's gonna be the nerves are gonna get a little more.
What'd you hit off one? Did you hit driver?
Driver.
You want the dog. Yeah, I mean, you gotta have it. 3 would be terrible.
Yeah, it was
terrifying.
a pretty easy tee shot of kind of down off the right, and you just try to hit it as hard as you can.
Dude, it was. I mean, we were there. Like I said, it was. I think you could probably say this because you actually played in one. Taylor Gooches might be wrong about comparing the Live Golf event to the Ryder Cup.
I don't know. Portland felt on TV. It felt like the similar, same vibe, dog.
The champagne. Yeah, I hope Taylor gets to experience the Ryder Cup sometime because he will definitely be taking back that comment.
We're gonna need some rule changes. Did you, as a rook, did you like? Do you think it was good to sit the first match? Like, are you too fired up, or is this part you just want to be like? It's like football. Like, if you want to go football reference, like it doesn't start till you take the first hit. I need to get hit.
Yeah. I mean, it's like once you hit that first tee shot, you're like, all right, this is just golf again. Like, this is a battle. And it was awesome playing with Tony Finau. I mean, he's probably the nicest guy I've ever been around, and he is so much fun to play with. Of how positive he is, and he's got great energy and pumping up the crowd. I mean, he was the perfect guy for me to play with. I mean, I feel like our games are relatively similar, and he's just a great guy to be with. And I just had a lot of fun playing with him, and he kind of eased my nerves a little bit. But he was great.
Who would have been like the vocal leader in the locker room on that team?
Yeah, let's go to the team room. I'm big into team room dynamics.
I mean, I think Justin and Jordan together are pretty much the vocal leaders. Then you have like Cantlay and Xander. I mean, they're kind of in separate pods, but they're both, I would say, Patrick and Xander are more the quiet leaders, and Jordan and Justin are more the vocal leaders. But it's awesome to have young guys like that. They're so passionate about playing in the Ryder Cup. I mean, people always ask me about the grip thing that happened on Sunday, which I didn't think it was that big of a deal. It was kind of weird walking in the locker room and getting a call from Strick saying that there's a problem with my putter grip. But all that fiasco, but it really pissed off Jordan and Justin the most.
Really?
Like more, I mean, it didn't really piss me off. I was like, I'll putt with whatever.
Didn't you just end up cutting it? X-Acto knife
Davis
or something?
Love came in and cut the top of it, taped it up, and made sure it was fine.
Because it was unraveling, right? Isn't that the reason?
Yeah, I mean, I've been putting with it for like 10 years.
That's what mine looks like. I talked to you about that.
Brought it to their attention?
I'm not really sure. We still haven't found that out.
Oh, we need to do.
We need to get behind the enemy lines.
I'm not sure if somebody called in and then they started looking at it because the head rules official got involved. Padraig, the European captain, got involved. I hadn't really talked to Padraig about it, but I need to.
The old rule hotline. Someone called in that 1-800
that
GQ
number that
this
no
person
knows.
that we don't know about. Go inside the team room. You're talking about some like the vocal leaders and stuff. I mean, we've heard in the past like the ping pong matches and things like that. Let's say y'all wrap for the day or in between matches. What's going on in there? You guys just sit and hang out, or Xander and Pat playing gin, or what's going on? Are you guys playing anything?
Some guys are playing ping pong for sure. But what I loved about Stricker is, I mean, I'd heard things of what other captains did, but he was basically kind of let us do what we do. All the speeches were, you are the best players in the world. There's a reason why you're on this team. Go do what you do.
How many times did he cry?
He cried a few times. So we went up there for a practice session, which I think was awesome. Kind of got to see whistling for the first time and do the whole thing. And he took us out to number 1 tee and did this awesome speech, teared up a little bit. And then we all signed this form, this scroll, about we're part of the team. Our caddy signed it, and then he put it in the ground on the first tee, and there's like a 1 cover on it. And I thought that was really cool. Of like, this is our mark in the first tee. This is our home turf.
That's awesome.
So I think it's still there, and it's going to be there for a while. But I thought that was really cool, and that kind of goes underappreciated, is like that practice session of the team bonding we did, and kind of set us up for a awesome week. And we had so much confidence of we didn't think about how we're going to lose this. We're like, how much are we going to win by?
Yeah, it was
and
a weapon.
Every team goes in like thinking they're going to win, expecting to win, all that stuff. You guys hadn't done it a whole lot, but at any point during that one, did you guys ever get in the team room like, boys, we are beating their heads in, right? Like, no one expected a 10-point victory.
Yeah, it was. There was no complacency. It was more like, we need to put the foot on the throat. Like, we need more. Like, we don't need to whatever. I don't know how many we're leading by going in the last day, but that team meeting going into the last day, it was like, we want more. Like, don't think we've won this already. Everybody needs to go out there and win their match. And we just wanted to see how many we can win by.
Now that you've played on
10.
Yeah, just 10.
A lot.
Now that you've played on one of those teams, like, where does that rank now, getting back and being a part of it in Rome? Like, I know you want to win tournaments, I know you want to win majors, but like, where does that being on another Ryder Cup team rank?
Yeah, it's probably number 1, because you're playing some good golf if you're on that Ryder Cup team, and once you're a part of that, you don't want to be left off. I mean, it's kind of the FOMO of being left off that team, because you know how much fun it is and how much excitement. It's the pinnacle of our sport, and I really don't want this whole live thing to take away from things like the Ryder Cup and the President's Cup, because that has been so sacred in our game for a long time, and I hate that it's taken some light away from that, or some players can't play it. I hate that.
Yeah.
The
good news is I can put in a good word with Zach for you.
Exactly. You're talking to advice, right? He's got a little pool. Would you view your career differently if at the end of it, regardless of what happens, it kind of goes hand in hand, but if you'd never played on a Ryder Cup team, would it be like a check mark against your career?
Yeah.
In your opinion?
Yeah. I mean, more for myself of not being able to experience it, because that's what I miss so much about college golf, is playing in that team atmosphere and playing this game for somebody else than yourself. And there's a whole different kind of pressure, and to be able to experience that, going to battle with some of these guys is something that you'll never do again. And if I played a career out here and won 4 times, won 8 times, won 10 times, but never got to play Ryder Cup, that's something that would be a failure to me.
You mentioned, I don't want to dive too much into it, but you mentioned the live thing. Like, what are your thoughts? Like, is this, because in my opinion, it's really bad for the game of golf, what's going on right now.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
What do you, like, what's the end game with this thing? Like, what are we going to do?
I don't know. I hate how divisive it is, of this team versus that team, saying PGA Tour versus Live. I mean, I ultimately want all the guys to play in the same tournaments, and I hate what this is doing in the game of bringing down the PGA Tour. I just don't know what the end game is. I mean, we've had so many conversations every single week, every single morning at breakfast out here, people coming up with different ideas of how we can combat this. But to the game as a whole, it really sucks, and it is hurting the game. It's not growing the game at all.
No, it's definitely
Colt
not.
and I talk about it like every day. Radio, it's always going on. It's topic of conversation. How much are the players, like week in, week out? Are you guys standing on the range talking about, okay, hey, you heard about this guy, or this guy just got this much, or all that?
More so, I think a lot of guys now are like, okay, these guys have left. Possibly some more guys are going, but like, what do we do going forward? Like, we got to come up with plans of worst case scenario, best case scenario. Like, we got to come up like the whole thing. Like, I don't think the PGA Tour thought it was going to get off the ground, and we got to be more thinking forward of like, okay, we got to combat this for probably a few years at least. So how are we going to do it? How are we going to keep the young guys on tour and keep building our college program to where the best college players come on the PGA Tour, go to the Korn Ferry, come on the PGA Tour, however they want to do it. But I think that's how we combat it is keep the young guys here. And as long as the young Americans and all the Schefflers, the Burns, the Morikawa, those guys, if as long as they stay, we have an unbelievable product and can keep growing it with the young guys.
Was there ever a thought of Harris English?
No.
Harry? Harry?
I don't really play.
Because the money's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. But I heard a good comment of, if you have $50 million, you want $100 million. If you have $100 million, you want $200 million. Like there's no end game in how much money you have, and it's like Rom said it best. Of like, is this money going to change my life? Like what they offer? No, it's not. So why am I going to shake up everything I've worked for and what I've done? I love playing on PGA Tour. I love coming to tournaments like this. It's the community feel you get. I mean, this is my 11th year on tour. You get used to coming to certain places and being here for a week and learning to love the cities you're in. And I love traveling during the PGA tournaments. And I love the competition, and it's what I want to do my whole life. And here I am, and now I'm going to go jump to do something else just for some more money. Like I didn't grow up playing this game for money, so why should it change now?
That's beautifully said, man.
Hypothetical here, young Harry. You came out, and like I said, it couldn't have gone better for you than it did. But young Harry, you're coming out of Georgia. They're in place at the time. They come over and like, hey, dude, you're probably going to be a stud. We'll give you $10 million, whatever it is. Would you consider it differently if you were a young kid with zero money in the bank?
I'm not really sure. That because I'm kind of in the middle of the age guys. Like I get some of the older guys, that they're at the end of the career. I get that they're kind of riding in the sunset with a bunch of money and get to play some fun golf. But like Tiger said at the Open, like some of these young guys coming out, if they don't get a chance to play in the majors, if they can't play in the British Open, the Masters, all that, like then what's it for?
Yeah,
like,
it changes everything.
Yeah. So until we know that, I mean, there's a lot of gray area in it, and I know the PGA Tour is standing strong, and we'll see what happens.
Let's go to something fun that happened right after the Ryder Cup. I think you got one of the biggest honors that a golfer can get because there ain't many of them. You're a celebrity guest picker on game day down there.
Yeah.
That's like, I saw that
so
happen.
jealous.
I was like, what a month this is. Ryder Cup. Didn't you have the trophy? Didn't you bring it?
So that was a replica. That was Davis Love's replica trophy. So I found out so late. It was kind of weird how I was going to go. I think I was going to go to the game anyway. And my agent, Jeremy, was kind of talking about it a little bit, and I think they asked a couple guys that couldn't do it, like Samuel L. Jackson. I can't believe I'm in the same.
If
like,
Sammy can't do it, call Harris.
The star of Snakes on a Plane. I mean, oh God.
We'll go down the list. I mean, I'm sure some people
Great
said
film.
no, but it was an incredible experience. I mean, obviously, I watch Game Day every single day. Love watching football, and flying up there that morning with my wife and my agent, and going in there.
Yeah, I saw it. I was like,
talking to those,
this is the sickest.
It was incredible. And like walking on the set, I'm sure a bunch of people were like, who is this guy? But it was so much fun. And, man, Corso's getting old. I get up there, they mic me up, and Corso's talking to me a little bit. And then I think Kirk said, like, look, you gotta yell at him. Like, he can't hear very well.
Yeah,
and
he's just a staple, though.
He's amazing. He's amazing. Had all his stuff written down in front of him. I definitely had a couple tequilas before because I was a little nervous. I mean, that's kind of my game day tradition. But
what was your record? What'd you do?
I didn't do. So I picked the Kentucky over Florida upset.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And
that should count as double.
It was. I didn't do as well as I thought because obviously I probably follow college football more than any other of their pickers, and didn't do as well. But I got that pick right, and Coach Stoops from Kentucky texted me, I think later that night, like, thanks for picking us.
That's awesome.
Over Florida, so I couldn't pick the Gators in anything.
That's crazy how much everyone pays attention to that. You know what I mean? Like the pickers and things. How nervous were you in that day? Because you're a little out of your. I mean, Ryder Cup's different, of course, but like you're a golf guy coming on doing football. You're like, but you know more football than 99% of golfers, I would say.
Yeah, I was pretty nervous. I mean, Pollock gave me some good advice. He's like, don't try to out talk football these guys. Yeah. Like, just be yourself. Tell some funny stories. And I didn't want to talk X's and O's with these guys who do this every single week. But it was fun. Quick and easy, and we had a great time. And then the Dogs, I think we blew out Arkansas 31-0 or something.
God,
yeah, that was
cool.
That was when Arkansas was playing good too.
I said I don't think I've ever been more jealous of you than right now. Getting to go on game day.
How many do you go to a year? How many games? Do you guys pop up all the Sea Island guys?
Probably 2 a year. I think I'm going to go to the Georgia-Oregon game in Atlanta. Chick-fil-A kickoff, but Georgia-Florida is right down the road in Jacksonville, so it's an easy hour drive. So I like to go to 2 a year.
I love it.
Didn't get a chance to go to the Natty last year, so I know it's in L.A. this year, so that'd be a little easier trip.
A little hop, skip, and a jump from Scottsdale.
Sure. I'm not missing it if it's in L.A.
I like it. Well, let's get some more fun. Let's get to the emergency 9. We do this with all of our guys. Just 9 fun questions. Learn a little more about Harris English. We ask this to everyone. You can be anyone for a day, dead or alive. Anyone in the history of the world. Who would you be?
Adam Sandler.
Really?
Holy shit.
Interesting.
Well,
fun answer.
Yeah.
Why?
Any particular day?
He just seems like he is himself, and he doesn't care what he looks like, doesn't care wearing those basketball shorts. Doesn't matter. He just seems like a fun guy to be and has a great life. And I obviously grew up loving his movies, and he just seems like a great
That's
dude.
a first for us here.
Didn't think that would have had taken a lot of guesses for me to get all the way to Adam Sandler for a day. You can just wear shitty clothes and do whatever you want, I guess.
He's just
be funny.
himself,
Yeah, pretty good day.
Yeah.
All right, Adam Sandler. That one might not ever be duplicated.
Nope. I like it, though.
All right. First one from me. This is before my time as Thunderbird or whatever, but you have been deemed the defending champion of the Monday Night Welcome Party at the Phoenix Open by numerous sources.
I had nothing to do with this.
Yeah. Dug deep.
How'd you
earn that title?
So I got a sponsor exemption my rookie year. Alex Clark gave me an exemption, and I didn't really know they had a Monday party. Like, this is my 5th tournament on tour. So I'm like, all right, I got to go to this party. I thought it was more like a meeting, like you got to
shake some hands and do all that.
Talk to the sponsors or whatnot. And I didn't eat dinner that night, which is a huge mistake.
Good.
First time I met Barkley.
Yep.
And I had he knew who I was, and I was like, how does this guy know who I was? We had a great night. Ended up hanging out with James Driscoll late night, who was one of my favorite humans.
He is an interesting
Heard
human.
some good ones. Actually, coincidentally, heard some good ones about him. Same evening, I assume.
Yeah. So we had a good time.
If you get dubbed the defending champ of that thing, you did some good work in there.
It was
some
a
people that go.
It was a great party. Kelly used to play every single time. It was just a fun get together. Like, especially now, like we don't have a whole lot of parties where like all the golfers get together and have fun, and that was one of them.
And you don't have to shake hands and do all this shit.
Yeah,
it's like literally just come and have a party.
Come and hang out and listen to Kelly and laugh and
maybe have a few cocktails.
Maybe have a few pops. Maybe be the defending champion the following year.
Yeah.
All right, I want to go back to football here because I know you Bulldogs are very, very passionate. Of all your teammates, who is the biggest, like who gets the most pumped up when they win and gets the most down when they lose? Of the guys you played with.
I would say Harmon is probably the most into it besides me. Michael Green doesn't care at all.
Yeah.
Like he sometimes doesn't even know who we're playing, but love going to games with him because he has a great time. Adam Mitchell probably has the biggest lows after we lose.
Really?
The biggest highs and the biggest lows, but we've had a lot of good times. He's known to pass out during the game a couple times.
Nothing wrong with that.
Good fan.
Take a little nap.
I mean, you SEC guys, you're so passionate. Like, I mean, I see Justin Thomas. If Alabama loses, it's like It's suicide watch.
That's like
there's
once
tears.
every 3 years, though. I mean, he's like, oh, my
Yeah.
God, we
But
lost
it's comical.
one.
I almost
We're
like
only-
root for him to lose just so I can watch him act like a baby.
Yeah. Man, it's tough. Like I literally watch every single game. I do the rivals thing. I follow recruiting. Like I'm into it. I've been like that since I was probably 9 or 10 years old. Of every year I'd get the magazine with the whole roster and learn where everybody's from. And I love listening to Larry Munson, turning Larry Munson on, watching the game. So I've done it for so long. So it's kind of in our blood of that's what we do is go to football games, watch every single game. I don't care if they're playing Charleston Southern. I don't care if they're playing the spring game. I'll watch the whole game and watch every play. Even if we're beating them 45-0, I'll watch it to the end of the game just to see the second and third string guys play.
Real fan, no fake fans
Passionate.
here. Is anyone's life going to be better in the history of the future of Athens than Stetson Bennett? The dude's going to have 7 car dealerships, probably be mayor, probably be governor, whatever he wants to do.
He can do
He's
whatever he
made
wants.
man.
He can do whatever he wants. And I love his story. I love how much of an underdog he was. And people are still sleeping on the guy. I mean, he's not in any of the top lists for quarterbacks returning. It's like, what more do you want out of a college quarterback? I mean, if you look at all his stats, like he's barely behind Stafford. He's like maybe barely behind Aaron Murray, like some of the Georgia greats. And it's like, why? Just because he's shorter and it doesn't look amazing, he doesn't have this huge arm. Like, what more do you want out of a college quarterback?
He won the Natty. It's because he looks like he should be the quarterback for the Lambda Chi frat. That's why.
He
looks like
Stetson.
This is our guy. He
Yeah.
played 3 years in high school. That's why he doesn't get it. All right, next one from me. Have you ever pissed anyone off as much as you pissed off the pushcart community after
my
your
God.
tweet a few years ago? And has your stance changed? Have they softened you?
So
The mob.
I did use a push cart.
Oh.
I went over early for the Scottish Open, played North Berwick with Subpar and Chris Kirk, and they don't have carts, they don't have caddies, so I'm not going to lug around my big ping bag. So I used a push cart. I don't
Did you
think
hate yourself the whole
No,
time?
I mean, it was actually nice. It was actually nice. Felt good. I don't really carry my bag as much as I used to, but it was just turning on the NCAA championship and seeing how many guys did it.
It's
I was
like all of them.
I never saw that when I was in junior golf. Or if I did see it, I was like, that guy has a weakness. I'm going to crush that guy. Like, he can't compete.
That's arguably the meanest thing you've ever said. By the way.
Yeah. So
and it was
I
basically,
gotta,
what was the actual tweet? It was like, I can't get over the amount of push carts. Like, that was it, basically.
Yeah,
And then it was just
yeah.
like, hey.
oh, my God. Brittany Lincecum, I think, backed me up, which was nice from the LPGA Tour.
Yeah.
But, man, that was tough. So I don't really tweet anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, no
I
more
would do that.
controversial
No
push
more
cart. You're always
controversial
pressing the
tweets.
envelope,
Yeah.
dude.
We got to know.
You're too controversial.
Okay. Ryder Cup, huge moment. I want to know about the after party, though. Who's the MVP
Man,
of the after party?
Dustin is incredible. How good at golf he is, but he can go out, and then he's like the first one in the gym crushing it.
Yeah.
And he can do it every day. And Morikawa was
He was the loser.
He's the LVP.
He's the LVP. But he went hard. He had a great time. But I mean, Dustin's incredible.
I think Dustin won the press conference
he won the press
always-
conference.
because he actually cared to speak for the first time.
You
That
know,
was cool.
we used to stay together a lot in amateur golf, and we'd go out, and I mean, he would tie one on. Next morning, 7 a.m., alarm goes off. He's up, head in the faucet, just chugging water, and he goes, "All right, let's go." And goes out and shoots 65. I'm like, what is happening? Like, how do you do this?
He doesn't age. Like
I
he
don't
can
get
still
that.
do it.
It's a talent.
Xander was impressive. I haven't really hung out with Xander off the course that much, but he had that cigar going.
Mhm.
I mean, Jordan obviously and Justin go pretty hard, which is always fun.
That was the
We had a
best
good
press
time.
conference ever, too, by the way. That was fun. I wish there was
That-
more. Like,
yeah,
you can't
I-
create that vibe,
I wish it
obviously.
went on
but
for 30 more
I was
minutes.
like, don't stop this. As long as they're willing to answer, keep going.
Here's an idea: win, get really shit faced, then we're gonna.
Then
Yeah.
the winner's press conference should be about 2 hours after the guy wins every week. Be a lot
and then
better.
like Finau's impressive because he doesn't drink, I don't think, but he's out later than anybody and dancing and getting up on tables, jumping into bean bags. Like
His dance moves are incredible.
He can
for being
dance
sober.
better than anyone.
my
I mean,
God.
That's
we
fun.
all think we can dance, and when
He-
we're drunk, and then he's sober.
Yeah.
Man,
All right, here we go. Your PGA profile says you're a Jeopardy fanatic. Okay, so I got you, Kiz, Keith Mitchell are on Jeopardy against each other. Give me gold, silver, bronze.
Keith would be really good at kind of the
bougie.
Like they show a picture of a watch without the
without the brand.
the brand, and like, what watch is this? He would get it. Or
what
like
vintage of wine is this?
Yeah.
What private jet model is this?
I have a weird thing of like remembering a lot of stuff in like high school and college. Like I wouldn't really take notes in class. I would just listen really well. And I have this weird like photographic memory of a lot of random shit. Like I don't know. So
what you're saying is Kiz would lose.
Get your boy. You got.
I don't know. I know Kiz is smart.
Kiz last?
I don't know.
Second?
Kiz would be pretty good, I think. I think I would win. I actually think Kiz would probably be second. Keith would probably be third.
Yeah, unless it was like, is this a Chanel bag? True or false? Then Keith.
Bougie Keith.
But I think I need to change that. I think I wrote that down like during Q school, all the fun facts. I mean, I haven't changed it in like 11 years, but.
Oh, that was dated on the. You're not big into the Jeopardy anymore.
No. I do watch Jeopardy, especially when I'm at home, like eating dinner or something, watching it.
Get your boy There's a celebrity. If you can get on, get on College GameDay, it's harder to get on College GameDay than it is to get on Jeopardy.
Yeah,
gotta be. Your boy gotta be able to swing that.
But I love just like blurting out answers, and obviously I'm gonna answer everything. So I'm
no
good.
negatives on the Georgia matchup.
I don't need
you can't get negative numbers.
Yeah,
we don't need negative winning. All right, you win. You
Jeopardy.
owe us $5,000.
All right, next one. You live down in Sea Island. Bunch of tour players down there. Y'all play a lot of golf together. Who's the easiest guy to get in their pocket? Who's the pigeon of the tour players down in Sea Island?
The most fun to get in their wallet is definitely Patton.
It's amazing how many people say that answer.
I think that's the third guy that's answered him.
Because he gets so upset. Like if I lose money, I don't really get up for money games that much. So I don't care as much as I should about losing money. But Patton, he could lose $5, he could lose $500, and he's gonna be so pissed.
He's like the Ches of Sea Island, except Ches always wins. Yes. But when he has to hand you $10, it's like he'd rather
ruined.
Cut his ear off.
If Ches loses at Wisbrock, he does not step foot in the grill. It's pay and go home.
And the game's shit.
Yep.
It's a shit game.
It's incredible.
But he's hard to clip though. All right, last one from me. Little would you rather situation, okay? Would you rather never win again on the PGA Tour, or you can win 10 more times, but you got to go back in time and go to Georgia Tech?
I'll probably never win again.
That's allegiance.
I mean, I like some of the guys that played at Georgia Tech, but the experience I had in Athens, there's no chance they had that.
You'd have to have the yellow jacket on the bag and all that.
I mean, I love
a football game that matters.
It's not the same. I mean,
get a good wide receiver every few years, but never really win anything.
I probably wouldn't have been on tour if I went to Georgia Tech. I don't know what would happen.
Partied your way out down there.
Yeah,
Georgia Tech.
Probably would have gotten kicked out.
Yeah, place like Athens though, keep your head down.
Yeah. All right, last one. You're one of the few guys on the PGA Tour that apparently has a backup plan. You could be the next David Blaine, I hear, with your incredible magic trick. So I got just a random deck of cards here. And for the YouTube watchers, you can obviously check this trick out.
Can we zoom on this to show there's no trickery going on? This is a random.
Because Brian Harmon tells me you think you're a great magician, but
is this your? Do you have a whole array, or is this your one?
This
is your party.
One trick pony.
Somebody did it to me, and I thought it was incredible. And then I learned how easy it was. Like, I'm gonna have to get some.
This is like your party trick go-to.
We're all flying together somewhere, and I did it to HUD, and it's so much fun to stump HUD. I don't know why, but it's so funny, and I don't know. You'll see.
All right, see if you can stump us.
How'd you do that?
We're pretty sharp. This is a random deck, by the way. There's been no trickery.
All right.
Any of them?
It's a whole pick a card.
Any card?
Any card.
Scenario? Don't show you.
Just don't pick that one.
Don't show you. You wanted me to go this one. This is a little reverse psych. You thought I was going to that one. Don't tell you?
Don't tell me. You can show Colt.
Colt, look.
Show the audience.
I'm going to.
Okay, got it.
It's a 4 of diamonds.
Oh.
Maybe that was a trick, or maybe it's the real one.
Put it anywhere in the deck.
Are you watching?
You can. Don't shuffle them, though.
No, they're random, dude. I'm not going to shuffle.
I'm telling you, this is the easiest trick. I don't think
I forgot my card.
I don't think I'm a good magician.
Are you just going to go dig it like that?
Yeah. Oh, my God. Probably.
No.
Really?
No.
See, that's why I can't.
For a minute, I thought it was.
So Harmon's right.
I threw the.
Harmon's right.
I threw the decoy out.
The random deck must have
thrown a wrench in it.
Literally put it.
You're
in the
real
same
close
spot.
to it. If you want to hint, this is the 2.
All right, buddy, you need to stick to playing golf.
Wow. Oh, I might have put it in randomly right where.
I know.
Yeah,
you might have.
You never come up against a brain.
There's only one way I can't do the trick.
I think I slid it in randomly into the one spot where it got tricky.
Where?
You had it.
This is
This
incredible.
one? Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
well,
that's it. You're only one off.
one spot off.
Yeah, you're close though. I think there's got a second career.
Good news
there.
is you're a hell of a golfer.
Yeah.
Hudson, take that.
I need to work on that. I hadn't done that trick since, so I gotta
It'll
work on my.
It'll still work on most guys.
I was close.
Goodness,
Well,
you're right.
One
there,
off.
dude.
I mean, give me one.
You're right there.
Well, Harry, man, really
Yes.
appreciate you coming on. That was fun.
Enjoyed
Thanks,
it.
dude.
Enjoyed it.
Appreciate
Thanks
you,
for having
bro.
me.
All right, well, that was Harris English joining us on Golf Subpar. Absolute beauty. Like I said before the interview, much better at golf than Magic Sleeves. That trick sucked.
Should we tell them how the trick works?
Well,
Is this
if
going
you
to
do
blow them
watch
up
on
at like
YouTube.
parties?
No,
If you
I don't
can't
think we
figure
should-
it out, if you're you'd have to be just shit-faced to not realize how this
First
trick
off,
works.
it's very easy for it to work. You just actually pulled the card out of the slot and put it back the one place you couldn't.
Yeah, so basically he takes the deck. It takes 12 minutes to set up. He takes the deck. He lines them all up from ace to king.
You're really just telling everybody right now.
Do you want me to do
oh
it?
my
Well, I mean,
God.
he can figure it out. Well, but,
Whew.
all
David
right.
Blaine's probably going to call you next and be like,
This doesn't
"Please
count
shut
as
up."
this isn't magic. This is just like don't be an idiot and ask. Hopefully nobody has to look at the deck either. Anyways, you're right. I picked that card out and then he fanned him back out and I somehow put it within one of where I pulled it out of, which really threw him for. He wasn't planning on coming up against a big brain like myself on this trick.
So Brian Harmon's the one who told me, he's like, have him do his magic trick. And that I called him and let him know how it happened, and he was like, "This is so great." I know he's very excited to watch this, but I was like, "Harris, that was really your trick? Like that was terrible."
He literally spent 10 to 12 minutes setting it up. We were like sitting at the table, like, all right, we're ready to go whenever you are. And he's like, hold on, I gotta get my trick set up.
But this guy, what a ride he's been on. Obviously a stud at the University of Georgia, comes out, wins on tour. It looks like the sky's the limit. Then he loses his game, really struggles. And then all of a sudden, bam, back up. One of the best players in the world, plays on the Ryder Cup team. I don't ever know how he ever plays bad. The golf swing is gorgeous. Won in an epic 8-hole playoff over at Hartford. I told him he's got to start getting that shit over with quickly. I got flights to catch. I can't be out there running around. I'll get paid overtime when they go 8 holes.
He loves the pageantry. He loves the moment. He wants to soak it up 8 holes later. Dude, you're right. Like I watch Harris hit balls, and I'm like, so how do you not
so you're
win?
really good.
You're one of those guys. Like, how do you? What's bad? 68. I mean, he chips it good. He putts it good. He does everything good. He just looks like one of those dudes that was born with a golf club in his hand. It doesn't look like there's any technical thoughts going on in there. And he's bounced back nicely from pissing off the entire push cart world. By the way, all he said was like, "Can't get over these push carts at NCAA's," and people were like, "You son of a bitch! I have a bad back."
That's Twitter.
I have a bad. It was like college kids he was talking about. Anyway, that really blew up. By the way, like for him to piss people off on Twitter just shows anyone can piss people off on Twitter because he's about as nice as they come.
He is literally as nice as they come. He is fantastic. Also got to do one thing I know we're very jealous of. The College GameDay guest picker. My God, that had to be so cool. Having the Ryder Cup up there with Corso and Herb Street, Desmond Howard, and who's the host?
I remember watching him. Fowler host it?
Yeah.
No. Is Fowler the host?
I don't know.
It doesn't matter. I just
Doesn't
like
matter.
I
Lee
just want to
Corso's
tune
there.
in to see what helmet Corso, what hat Corso puts on and listen to Herbie. He did a good. I remember watching him do it, and he had the perfect like deal. Some dudes get on and want to talk like X's and show like how much they know about football. Harris clearly a huge football fan, but like didn't try to do that. Don't try to out football the football guys. You know what I mean? But that's like as cool an honor as there is. I mean, that's for me. That would be up there high. Like I get to be celebrity picker on game day. That's it. Boom.
You got to be a celebrity
Ryder
first.
Cup's cool. Picker better.
Well,
Yeah, I'll knock that out soon. I'll release a sex tape and that'll be taken care of.
okay, perfect. That's the plan. All right.
That's how you do it. That's the blueprint.
Well, it was a lot of fun with Harris. Hard not to root for that guy. He's an absolute stud. But it's now time to step up to the tee and take a swing at betting the PGA Tour on FanDuel Sportsbook. Right now, new customers can bet the Tour with a no-sweat first bet. If you don't win, you'll get up to $1,000 back in free bets. You can bet matchups, tournament finishes, whatever you want. No big deal. Use that no-sweat bet and try to get some money. Get amongst it. There's great promotions every day, safe and secured. Best part is, Sleaze, when you win,
Quick pay.
that's right.
Quick friends.
We're all about quickness over here at Golf Subpar.
We do everything fast. You with me?
So see for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. Sleaze, our favorite bets of the week. I believe we're both still in the positive for the year, but they did not go as planned. Your guy, Siwoo Kim,
Cool.
shaking that ass. He shook that ass.
Shook that ass right onto a plane and out of the fucking tournament.
Yeah, with Drew. My guy, I
fun.
had JT posting to top 20. And
oh, that was a toughie.
I was on the plane coming home from Gaza. He's T19. So I'm
Solid.
like, okay, we're okay. We're sitting fine. I land, and I'm like, oh, boy. He went to 20th, which still pays. The 20th is as good as 10th in this bet. Doesn't really matter. And our guy, the barn rat, the beautiful barn rat in the final group, makes a birdie. He was struggling all day. Birdie's 18, which is a very hard hole, to move up to 13th and knock my guy JT Poston to tied for 21st. Absolutely fucked me. But Kiradek, you're so beautiful.
But
I'll forgive
it's
you.
Kiradek. If you're gonna take a blasting, you might as well be blasted by the rat. You know, anybody else would be pissed off, but the rat showing it. By the way, good to just see the rat on the screen, getting a little PT. You know what I mean?
I need more vape.
Way more vape. Anyways, he hadn't lost a beat. He hadn't lost a step. The rat.
All right, so
Still
check back
looking
in
good.
later this week for our favorite bets of the week. But now it's time to give you some outright winners with our guys over at FanDuel. We're on to the playoffs. FedEx St. Jude, Memphis is going to be a hot one. Great golf course, though. TPC Southwind, ball striking golf course. My favorite.
Hit it straight.
Okay, well, he's number one player in the world. Do I need to say anything else?
No.
But he's not the betting favorite. He's going off at 16-1. I've been hearing from a little birdie. He played 3 rounds last week, shot under 64 in all the rounds. One round, I believe he shot 61 with 3 bogeys. No big deal. I'm going Scotty Scheffler,
Gotta
your
clean up the
points
cart.
leader, to win the FedEx St. Jude Classic, 16-1.
Not a terrible bet anytime you're going with world number one. I'm going to go with the guy that's having a big year himself. It's the first time major champion. His name's Matt Fitzpatrick. He's going off at 22-1. Hasn't played since the Open Championship. Don't blame him. You got to go around. You got to drink out of the jug, have a good time, get that all out of the system, recoup, get back to doing what you do. I mean, he's an incredible wedge player, fantastic putter. Just got to hit it straight. Like, years ago, we would have said this is like the perfect place for Matt Fitzpatrick before he gained all the distance. Now he can pretty much do it anywhere. But I'm going to go with Matt Fitzpatrick.
Did you say recoup? Chicken coop?
You with me? He's probably playing a little bird shit bingo. Do you know what I mean?
Chicken shit bingo.
Chicken shit bingo.
You can't get a
Interchangeable.
bird. It's flying around.
No, you can get birds. Penguins don't fly.
We'll put the
You could have
seagull
a penguin in there.
We'll put the seagull Hoffman.
Everybody would win if Hoffman got in there. All right, 1 through 64, you all win. It's just an enormous pile.
Yeah, that's fantastic. All right, my dark horse. 55-1 just seems like some crazy odds. Like I said, TPC Southwind, I think you got to be a great ball striker to win around this place. This is just disrespectful to him. Max Homa, 55-1. Love those odds.
Yeah, I mean, Max, you're going to make a move trying to get to East Lake. 55-1 seems too high for a guy like that. His swing, I don't know if you noticed, though, it's a little off right now.
No, it's pure.
He's a quarter
Don't
inch.
talk about him.
Quarter inch laid off.
He's perfect.
You're going to have to get that fixed if he ever wants to play good golf. His golf swing's disgusting. But 55-1, I agree with you. That seems a little high for Max. I'm going to go with the guy I think is a tailor-made for a place like this. He's going at 42-1. Billy Horschel. Okay, he's just coming off a 27th at the Wyndham. Wasn't great there. But love him on Bermuda Gray. He's used to this type of stuff. He putts it. I mean, just kind of plods along. Not going to overpower anywhere, but iron play is great. Just solid. 42-1. I think that's a great play with Billy Horschel.
All right, I'm going to
Also
give you
trying to get to East Lake.
I'm going to give you a sneaky dark horse.
Super
Just
dark.
to watch out for.
Midnight.
Just maybe sprinkle a little something. Maybe a top 20, a top 10 bet, which could be coming from me later in the week. But 80-1, guy who's played pretty well around here, Keegan Bradley.
Keegs. 80-1.
Is
that a little
keep
teaser
that in the
for
back
bet
of the
week?
mind. I have no idea. I just saw it and I liked it.
I got to find a guy that's going to play 4 rounds.
that helps.
My research.
We could
failed
probably
me.
get a miscut bet.
We should all of our best bets going forward. Maybe should be
Just hitting on people.
and we'll just piss off every single player out there.
All right. Well,
I got Wyndham.
Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and sign up using promo code Subpar to get started with your no sweat first bet up to $1,000. FanDuel Sportsbook, official betting operator of the PGA Tour. Make sure you use promo code SUBPAR and must be 21 years and older and present in Arizona, Connecticut, Iowa, Illinois, New Jersey, New York, or Wyoming. First online real money wagers only. Refund issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expire 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG in Iowa, New Jersey, or Illinois. 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342 in Arizona. 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. That's 467-369 in New York or 1-800-522-4700 in Wyoming.
Don't call any of them. Dig your way out. That's what I'm going to do.
Just win. Just win,
Dig your
baby.
way
Take
out.
our picks. Win you some cash. Another great episode coming your way next week. We got one of the best to ever do it. Hall of Fame college basketball coach Tom Izzo joining us on Golf Subpar. Y'all have a great week.